Welcome back to this episode of the GCSE Physics podcast. In this episode, we're going to look at static electricity. This can be part one of two looking at static electricity. So join us again next time if you want to learn more. So first of all, objects become charged when they gain or lose electrons. And charge is measured in coulombs. Now, an object can be positively charged or negatively charged. And like charges will repel each other. Now, two positive charges will repel each other, and two negative charges will repel each other. Now, if you've got unlike charges, they'll attract. So, for example, a negative and a positive charge will attract each other. Objects also become charged by gaining or losing electrons. Now, electrons are negatively charged, so an object that loses electrons will become positively charged. And if an object gains electrons, it will become negatively charged. When there is a difference between the positive and negative charge of two objects, there's a potential difference between the two objects. And this potential difference causes a rapid transfer of charge. Energy is stored in electrostatic stores, and a spark is produced. So in clouds during a storm, a charge builds up and creates lightning, and that's an example of a spark. It's just a very big one. So I want you to have a think about something. You've got a tumble dryer going. If you don't have one, just where the clothes go round and dry off. Why do you think that clothes dried in a tumble dryer stick together? Well, I'm going to tell you. So the clothes basically rub against each other in the tumble dryer, and this could charge the clothes because electrons are basically knocked off as the clothes rub together. And then some will lose electrons and become positively charged, and others will gain electrons and become negatively charged. Now, the clothes then that are oppositely charged will attract each other and stick together. So remember, you need to know an object, when it loses electrons, becomes positively charged. When it gains electrons, it becomes negatively charged. Now, you also need to know what the unit of charge is, and that is something called a coulomb, Coulombs. And you've got three kinds of charge. You've got positive, negative, and neutral. Now, charged objects can exert forces on other objects. So if you rub an object against another object, it can cause electrons to jump from one object to the other, and that causes both objects to become charged. Now, a plastic rod or a balloon can be charged by rubbing it with a cloth or rubbing it on your hair. You might have done that with a balloon before. And the charged rod will attract a stream of water as it falls from the tap. The charged rod can move an empty aluminium drinks can as well, and the charge of the rod attracts or repels the electrons in the metal moving the can. Another example is if you rub a balloon on your head, you'll notice the hairs will stick to the balloon, and that's just because of the same reason. You've got a transfer of electrons that makes them the same charge. Sorry, different charges, which makes them stick together. So something that would not happen because of electrical charges is magnets sticking together. So that's nothing. When magnets stick together, that's nothing to do with electrical charges. That's to do with magnetic fields. So a couple of experiments you need to remember that can demonstrate charge are the rubbing of two objects together, or the moving of an empty aluminium can with a plastic rod. Now, electrical charges. There's some other things you need to know. So a positive charge and a neutral charge will experience no force because they're not oppositely charged. You also need to know that two like charges will repel each other, and also two like charges will attract. So if we look at an example with charged objects, we know that already that charged objects can exert forces on other objects. So for example, we talked about earlier, rubbing another object to cause electrons to jump from one to the other to create the charge, which then can repel or attract other things. So, for example, rubbing a towel against a balloon will charge it, and this results in the charge of the balloon. This will put a charge on the balloon, causing an attraction between the balloon and some running water. Now, a material that loses electrons has a positive charge, and this is because electrons have a negative charge. And conversely, a material that loses electrons will be positively charged. And that is all we're going to talk about in today's episode of static electricity. Join us again next time for a second look at static electricity, and then we'll move on to other parts of your GCSE Physics course. Join us again soon.